using XRP. Let him talk. Let's hear him out. Let's hear the counter argument.
Is it huge in the sense for being purpose used? I guess is my question. Like, are people actually using it for remittance of transfer on ledger, or are people just holding it? Why is it huge in UK?
Like, they actually spend it in UK. Like, they pay each other with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly on, like, exactly why they use it, but I mean, they just do. It's just really big there for some reason.
I thought the euro was supposed to get rid of all that, those problems, but I guess not.
I still say we let
people in crypto in Europe like XRP, so still a small amount of people.
Yeah.
I say we let Chief on here. I want to hear him debate since he's pro XRP.
Yeah, I'll hop off.
Chief, you want to come on? See if you can add him.
My party.
Mater party.
I think Chief Keef already left. Oh no, he's coming on. Okay, cool.
Finance. If you're still on though, there's a DAO called Rat DAO. They're trying to buy a Banksy. You should holler at them.
I better head out soon too anyway, but this was fun. And Cena, you can take any of my videos and repost them wherever you want.
But I think I'm going to continue to do the lives on YouTube because people can actually hear me. Yeah, this is exactly loud and clear. So now I know. So all I'm going to do is maybe do like a live on Facebook and just tell everyone on Facebook to hop onto YouTube because I don't know why the volume sucks. Pelosi coin to Uranus. Chief, I didn't get your request. Let me try to invite you again. It says you're invited, Chief. You're not getting it? Because I'm not getting the thing. Maybe
I'd like to hear his experience with the remittances as well. Because I like last minute I had to send some money to Mexico because we had this this dress commissioned, really nice dress. But like I said, last minute I had to send them more money, and they're like, "Oh, can you send it to my account?" And they're like, "No, that's going to be like $30-$40. And I'm like, okay, how about Zoom? And they're like, no, I can't do Zoom. I've been scammed by them before. And I'm like, you're really going to make me do this like MoneyGram or Western Union? They're like, yeah, can you do it MoneyGram? And I go online and like the app is down. Their network is down. And I'm like, please, like, what about Bitso? Are you familiar with Bitso and monedas virtuales, virtual currencies? And they're like, no, I don't know what those are. So I was like, darn you, Western Union, you won again.
All right, Chief, let's hear some wisdom.
I can see your comment.
So, speaking of Western Union, that's actually one of the companies testing out XRP. So there are actual entities like Santander Bank and things like that have been doing it on the back end, maybe on lower end scales. It's from what I remember, Japan was one of the bigger ones that was actually really looking. They were one of the bigger countries that was like really all about it, because the issue is banks don't trust each other. They don't even trust the checks that they write to each other.
That's true.
So that's the big issue.
When you say testing, do you mean the ISO 2202 or whatever that's called, like the standardized technology, or is it actual XRP tokens doing ledger changes?
The Ripple blockchain and corresponding XRP.
Okay.
So they were doing both. They're experimenting with it, and there's different ways. So I actually am an XRP holder. Admittedly, it's like a small part of my portfolio, but
I have a few too.
But I'm more interested in the upcoming DeFi ecosystem because they're going to have their F assets soon. And Spark Flare drop, that's been like pushed back, but that's happening soon. So that's the big thing I'm looking at, is the layer side of it, because if it works as fast as XRP does with the amount of transactions, that'll be nice.
You mean these layers are building over XRP?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're looking on a new F asset system. So I think what'll be interesting, because this is where I see the world is going. I'm not saying XRP is going to be the winner, but I say something like XRP being a big part of it. Because we're going to have to see a shift from, this is where we're talking big picture in finance. We're all familiar with NASDAQ, right? How many of you are familiar with the supercomputers they basically have to have these rapid, fast transactions and everything? Like it's fractions of a microsecond, basically, that they're having to beat each other out for order flow.
Yeah.
So imagine you have a system that can work similarly as fast, but actually then displace the NASDAQ, and then you can have synthetic assets in the same way on a DeFi ecosystem. That's where the big, thing is going to be, whether it be XRP or another, or even if it's Stellar. It's going to be a fast system because Stellar is a competitor to XRP, and then there's a couple others I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're all going to play an important role because contrary to a lot of the Bitcoin maxis, the Monero maxis, whatever you want, the fiat system is going to stay for at least a period of time. I'd say at least 10 to 20 years because let's be honest, boomers. When boomers die out, a lot of that shit will change. Same thing as, let's be honest. YOLO, you and I are about the same age, so it's like we remember growing up, checks were written all the time. Who the hell
Balancing
still
your
writes a
checkbook.
check?
Balance your checkbook.
Yep. You and I probably remember in home ec class getting a balancing the checkbook lesson, and we probably never used it.
And waste of time. Waste of time.
Yep. So that's what I think is going to happen is we're going to this like tiered approach. So XRP and all those, I think, will help with Swift and a bunch of... that's the big thing, is it's going to really attack Swift. For those of you not familiar with Swift, that is a very, very costly, archaic, convoluted way to transact money around the world. And I think that handles about, a third of the entire transactions internationally?
Nice.
So why would anyone be excited about building on top of XRP without the settlement being completed?
Or Stellar.
Because the SEC... Also, okay, so I was actually talking with a few friends because the SEC is kind of in hot water right now with how they did things because here's the thing. The Howey test does apply to Ethereum. So the big question is, why did the SEC say, yes, Ripple, not Ethereum? And that's what's going to mess them up in the long run. Because I think, what was it they said? The XRP technically didn't even fulfill all of the Howey tests, but Ethereum did. So we have that letter that's going around that's going to be revealed and everything. So while this lawsuit is dragged on, I'm cautiously optimistic. I've always said worst case scenario coming out for Ripple Foundation is they're going to settle with the SEC and move on. They're not going to be completely shut down because I think the SEC knows that would fuck over way too many Americans that they would be calling for their heads. Because there's too many lay people that have money in XRP too.
Yeah.
So, Chief, you said one thing I disagree with.
Yes.
I worked at a bank for years. I used Swift for years. You call it expensive, but the banks don't pay the fees. The clients pay the fees. The banks get a trailing commission off the fees. It's an income stream for the banks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where the expense is. If YOLO and I do a Swift transaction to any international person, that's much more expensive than, say, sending even Bitcoin or hell. Ethereum in some cases is cheaper.
Okay, so I'm doing a comparison of Swift over XRP. The bank is making money using Swift. Why would they be excited about using somebody else and make less money?
Because the issue is not everyone accepts Swift. Swift's still only like 1/3 of it. We're talking about a common playing field that people can understand.
But if Swift adopts which they already have it, the I even say it wrong, ISO 200-222, if they adopt that, it won't be accepted in more places.
No, because the issue is that you're still having a lot of countries that have trust issues with other countries. You're still looking at it from from a singular, banks as a whole, but what about the governments behind those banks?
Yeah, go on.
That's the major issue that is there, is because the banks in different countries don't trust each other for anything. So Swift, who's running behind Swift? That's the issue. Because there's no, there's no glass door, really. Whereas in XRP, there's more or less a glass door. You can see everything going on.
Same with
And then
Stellar.
there's already, with Swift, major security issues. Because here's the other thing they don't talk about. Swift isn't just a plug-and-play solution. You go to a bank, you have to set up that infrastructure. There was a few years ago where a bank in India was responsible for millions of dollars in wire fraud because they did not secure their SWIFT infrastructure.
Yeah, I used it. It's like on Microsoft DOS, so I get that it's old-fashioned. Like, I had to use like an MS-DOS system to do wires.
Yeah, sorry, I had a call in.
Without that settlement time, how are, financial institutions not exposing themselves to the exact same thing by using XRP?
Well, with XRP, the difference is all you need to do is you would actually just put a server in. I've done a cost calculation for what they need. It's about $30,000 for a server, a couple, double, triple that if you want redundancy. And then that server has an exact copy of the same XRP blockchain as the others. So everyone has the same copy.
Wouldn't that server have to be per branch?
Not per branch. You can do a VPN out and everything. So what a lot of banks do is they'll house it in a central data center, and then they'll set up secure routes to them, either physically or virtually.
So the end goal, what if nobody needs the wire because everyone's just doing electronic transfers to digital wallets? Will there still even be the tech needed for wires?
That's where I'm saying that there's going to be a staging ground that basically is only going to exist while boomers are around. Because you're going to see more people adopt the El Salvadoran model. You're going to see more people let's put it this way. One of my friends doesn't have a car. He started using the bus lately. I gave him $20 in cash, and I said, this should be good enough. He handed it back to me the next day, and he's like, hey, they started using Cash App instead. So that says a lot when the buses are starting to use it. And the only reason they still, have physical acceptance of money is because you still have boomers that want to use their money, their checks and things like that. But how many businesses now say they don't accept personal checks?
Cash
It's
too.
kind of the same stuff.
There's a lot of businesses in California, it's credit card only. They don't even take cash.
Yep. Microcenter was that way for a while too during COVID.
So there's a guy in the chat, Marcus. My answer to that is I would love for banks to have less power. I'd love for people to have more power over their money and banks have less power over our money.
Yep. And the only way to do that is crypto.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a fan of crypto. And that's why I remember when Bitcoin was 26 cents. I never bought any because I never had any faith in it. But as time goes on and working in finance, I realized there's a lot of flaws in the system, and crypto solves a lot of those flaws.
I remember I was dating my British ex-girlfriend, and she was yelling at me because my laptop was so loud mining it when I was doing it for fun as an experiment that I shut it off and forgot about it. So literally, I'm not joking, those couple of days of just, tinkering around with it were the little Bitcoins that I mined, I completely forgot about, and helped pay for a good chunk of this house. And it was literally one of those, I forgot about this, and then a few years later, I was like, oh, it's worth $50. That's cool. And then I'm like, would this be cool if I just threw this in a backyard somewhere and just had hidden treasure instead of bags of gold? And then I didn't expect it ever get past $1,000. I was the guy that was telling all my friends in 2016, guys, Bitcoin's going to be $2,000 by 2020. I mean, I was right, but I was off.
You're on the low side. It's like Price is Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't have won the prize from Drew Carey.
So, proof of stake over proof of work. What are you a fan of?
There's pros and cons to both. So, proof of stake. So I'll start with proof of work. Proof of work, most energy required. It's a big boy game of a war of attrition of who has the most amount of processing power, basically, to get the most reports. But on the pro side of it, it allows for the easiest and best way of a decentralized network, which is why ones like Monero like it. Downside is energy costs, processing power needs, upfront costs, things like that.
Doesn't a lot of money go also to the chip makers, where with staking, the money doesn't go to chip makers, it goes to the holders?
Yes and no. So the reason why is if you're talking about Bitcoin with ASICs, application-specific circuits, or FPGAs, field programmable gate arrays, yes, because those are specialized equipment. And the fun little dirty secret that nobody wants to talk about is most of those chips, when they're developed, have already been mined on to the point that they're no longer profitable for many of those companies. So what ends up happening is I've already seen it. One of my friends got a new ant miner or something like that, and he was like, dude, this has been used. There's dust on it, a little bit.
Interesting. Oh, he cut out?
He's still there. Maybe got a phone call.
But hey, really quick, let's just talk about this.
Telemarketers. But proof of stake. The pros with that is you can have lower costs of energy, lower costs up front potentially, unless you're talking like things like Solana that needs an expensive ass server because it needs like a Threadripper. But the pro with it, of course, is it uses less energy. The con with it is, unlike mining where you can just put the hardware in and start generating money, staking requires you to have the money to put it in to gain the interest, basically, or equivalent of interest in crypto space.
Yeah, you brought up energy, and people keep on ragging on crypto and energy. Like for myself, once again, working at the bank, I had the manager that kept the temperature above 80 all year long.
Yep.
We had our XM radio going 24/7. We never turned off the amp. You know, like banks do use a lot of money, a lot of energy.
Well, not just the bank branches individually, but this is where a lot of people are ignorant of how the current financial system works. You have massive data centers just for each individual bank to work. Yeah, all the branches access that. So there's literally a warehouse for each bank. And not only that, there's not just one warehouse, there's several warehouses because they need redundancy because of floods and whatever happens in different geographical situations. Now, each bank has that.
The financial system is no hero on saving energy. So I don't understand why the attack is on crypto that wastes energy when the whole financial system could be more efficient with crypto.
And I've done some deep research into this for data centers. Now, data centers at most offset 45% of their electric costs with a tech called Bloom Energy. Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and others do this. It's a solid-state fuel cell that basically you put natural gas in and it gives energy very, very cleanly. It's not like a generator or anything. That's cool tech. These things cost millions of dollars each. I was actually about to get one for a client, but they pulled out because I really wanted to touch it. But anyway, so the issue with that, of course, is that's only offsetting costs. The one red herring that a lot of people like to pull out is the cost that of energy that Bitcoin has. But I will tell you this from firsthand experience, being a miner and knowing a bunch of miners, the issue of cost is, of course, always on your mind. You have electric that you're generating. That's why a lot of people like Ohio, our electric rates are less than 6 cents a kilowatt right now. The right energy supplier. But the issue then becomes, how does it become sustainable and scalable? So the issue with scalability is you're going to have additional circuits run, panels, things like that. So you're going to need heavier duty feeds of a commercial line from power companies, and that's a more expensive fee than typical residential rates. So that plays into the role of why a lot of miners, at a certain point, every miner has considered going green, not because of the cost, not because of the environment, but usually because they want green. They're going green because they want more green. That's all there is to it.
It makes sense because like every Bitcoin miner out there is pretty much a business. You got to view yourself as a business. How do I make more money? I either make more money or reduce costs. And Bitcoin miners, they don't really, in some ways, have control of how much money you make. So how do you make more? You save more. That's your options.
Yep. That's the reason why I'm actually looking at when I was doing mining and everything. Everybody's like, "Are you going to do it in your house again?" And I'm like, "No, fuck that. I have a relationship with a data center. If I ever have miners in my house, I'm going to be straight up with you. It's mostly because there is heat and money second."
Yeah, I'm in Canada. There's a part of me that does want to buy some miners just to see how it does heat.
Yeah, it's an expensive upfront investment compared to furnace.
So what do you think of Monero?
I love it.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
I'm actually one of the testers for Pinode XMR, which is a open source project to let you run your own node easily on a Raspberry Pi. I test it for the Rock Pro 64. I do the tinkering to get it running over Tor and syncing and all that. It's really cool tech. It's actually what allowed me to learn a lot about how the blockchains themselves work because it's accessible. And I actually am working on a little script with my little workstation because it's idle a lot of the time. It sits there and 80% of the resources are unused. I'm just going to have it say, if less than this is used, mine Monero.
I would love to know how to use a Raspberry Pi. That's on the to-do list.
They're really easy. The hard part right now is getting one. Micro Center sold out.
By the way, I want to bring up this comment. India developed UPI, a fast way to send medium amounts of money, and it's proven the best way to transfer money by Singapore. So I guess USA is going to lose on the payment monopoly because of greed. So it looks like there's this new system in India called UPI, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Thank you for this comment, but maybe do some research. We can talk about it. But he sees this as a threat to basically the U.S. banks.
That and more like a threat to XRP, really.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I got to do some buys in a bit as well, and it's very opportune because I just got my payments from some side hustles, so that's going into crypto.
Nice. Oh, man, I wanted to ask you, Chief, I don't know if you caught a lot of the congressional hearing yesterday, but in my opinion, it went really well, man.
I didn't. I was on site working, so can you give me a TLDR?
Well, yeah, man, like, so everything that you said about, that you two were saying about how these crypto mining operations are looking to save money, and that means going green, you know, they were really able to defend it very well. Whether it was BitPay or whatever these large mining corporations are. And then there was some local politicians that were able to talk about how it's been able to bring opportunities to their local areas. And one real cool one was like a senator or whatever congressman from West Virginia. He talked about how they have abandoned mines there. And he talked about how they have constant temperatures there and how they have whatever flow of liquid cooling that they have set up there. They have plans to do mining in old mines.
Yeah.
So, and then the other one they talked about, and I don't know how much you know about like power generation, delivery, storage, but a lot of them talked about how a lot of times they're using energy that because power distribution is so inefficient, a lot of times they're able to use energy that would otherwise be wasted. So
that's the other thing
that was a big thing they talked about.
The energy grid is never used at 100%. It's actually very inefficient. I think on average we're using something like 60 or 70%, and then we get surges usually in the summer. The issue that I've always told people with energy is the same thing with electric cars. It's not about getting electric, it's about storing it. So the issue isn't energy generation these days, it's energy storage during peak times and stuff.
What? Elon Musk was right?
Yeah, he's right. He's a prick, but he was right.
That's exactly what he said.
Good old Elon.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be seeing some interesting stuff, and it's going to be interesting leading it into the world forward, but also this year, I think now that cryptocurrency is starting to standardize and you're going to see more regulations, I definitely see more people calling for privacy coins.
So, do you think, because the FBI has a prize out right now for anyone who cracks Monero, do you think anyone can?
No. Like, let me put it this way. The IRS released, it was the IRS, by the way. They
was it? Yeah.
Companies $300,000 for a bounty, and the Monero community collectively basically said, oh, that's cute. Increase the ring network size just to fuck with them. You haven't seen Triptych yet. Triptych is their new network upgrade. So the way that Monero works versus Bitcoin is, it sends one transaction to the other. You can get your address, you can do it. If you look up my Monero address, which is in my links, by the way.
It changes, doesn't it?
You can't see shit unless you know the transaction hash. But on top of that, when you send a Monero transaction, what that ring network is, when I say ring network size, that's how many decoys it's sending out as well to obfuscate what's being sent. So even on the ClearNet, before it was sending 11 decoys basically, now it's sending 16. Triptych is supposed to increase that even more, and on top of it, increase it to 25.
Doesn't Monero change your wallet address after every transaction or something? Doesn't it change everything in the background?
Nope, same address all the time. You can generate new sub addresses, so the 4 address is your primary, and then you can make an 8 address, which is a secondary account underneath it.
So you can do like a burner address in Monero?
Yep, you can.
I gotta figure out that more. I don't know much about Monero, but it sounds cooler and cooler as time goes on. And then there's also Privy.
Yeah, it's definitely private. The other one that I like is Pivx, Pivx.
Oh, I just said Privy. Maybe it's Pivx is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's Pivx. It's a proof of stake alternative. That's one that I have on a Raspberry Pi behind me. I need to throw that down to my rack. Basically what I did is that's one of the only ones that my crypto is off of the ledger. But what I do with it is it's essentially a little wallet that it has itself. It's always hot in staking. That money is sent from my ledger into that node, and that node is staking, and it's a smart delegation contract signed back to the main address, so the rewards are paid out to my address.
That's all above me. do you make videos on TikTok with all this?
I do, and I'm gonna get into YouTube and do it deeper. But if you want pivots, like
By the way, this is on YouTube. Your entire.
I don't want to have my wallet all the time. All you need to do is have a Pivx wallet, have Pivx in there, and have the wallet running and turn staking on, and you're staking. The issue is that it's required to be hot, which means you need it on all the time. So I'm always on the move. I like to turn my computers off. So I have a Raspberry Pi always connected, doing just that.
This entire conversation is on YouTube, by the way. So if anyone wants to listen to it again, just go on my YouTube.
Yeah, it's all a little deep. No, I'll have to look into that more. It's something that interests me.
What about Zcash? How, is that a good one too? Because
I hold some.
Coming to a meetup.
I have some.
Yeah, there's somebody from Zcash coming to a meetup in San Diego, in like about a month.
To be honest with you, Zcash is kind of a punching bag in the Monero community. If you go to our Monero, they're kind of a butt of a joke off. It's not that there's anything wrong with them, it's that Monero is privacy first, and Zcash has an option of privacy. Make sense?
Yeah.
Pivx is the same way, but there's no alternative for Pivx right now. Yeah. Oh, and YOLO, by the way, speaking of YouTube, I definitely can help with your little streaming issue, things like that, because I actually last night was bored and was trying to figure out, you know what, if I had a few friends on Discord to do a chat and all that, how would that work out on YouTube? So my computer's already set up to that stream to YouTube if we ever want.
Okay, yeah, we should definitely try that out. And yeah, I was going to tell you the other one where I'm getting a lot of views that you should consider doing is just create a Facebook page. And the one I have it's called Cryptocurrency Trends. I'll text you. In the last 28 days, I got 2 million views.
So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to make a new Facebook account because I don't have one. And then I'm going
make it
to
a business page, though. Yeah, make it a business page.
Yeah, I'm just going to simulcast it to YouTube and Facebook.
Perfect. And then there's another thing they wanted to talk about here on YouTube. So they're talking about this domestic transfer system in India. And I guess it's going after MasterCard and Visa because it's free. And it's called UPI. UPI, and it's basically like a free way to move money around in India and Singapore.
Nothing's free.
They say it's completely free, but it's medium-sized transactions. And it's called UPI India. So I don't know if you guys ever get bored, maybe take a look at it and see, you know. I'm
pulling it up right now.
I better head on out here, but good to meet you, Sheep.
Good to see you too.
And Non-Fungible, Cena, always good seeing you guys.
Dude, I love this conversation, by the way. Love this conversation. Like, this is better than any MBA class I've sit in. I had to give 120 grand to USC to really learn stuff in 2015 that didn't matter. Like, I love these conversations. I hope we can have more conversations like that. And shout out to Adam Smith, man. You asked the best questions. Hands down.
Thanks.
You should be like a talk show host.
Just like everyone else.
No, you asked the best questions. Like, you have to come back. We need you. You're, like, very important to this discussion.
We'll see you all later. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. But yeah, if you can create a better way to create this content, Chief, like let me know, and then I just need WhatsApp. You can just give me the video format on WhatsApp, and I'll put it on all my social media. But I feel like you would create a way better like way to integrate all of this. So if you can just send me the video format.
Yeah. If you want, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing from my little YouTube streams.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. And then once again, for me, like I know my account is eventually going to get banned, just the way I do TikTok. So just having these other platforms is the best way for me. So as soon as this account gets banned again, like you'll be able to just look at my YouTube or my Facebook page and find my next TikTok. But I think it's inevitable because I already have like 6 or 7 strikes, and I can't cover crypto content right now. Or I try not to. Like I'm doing more like CNBC. What?
You already have 6 or 7 strikes on this account?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I will check my YouTube I'll DM you back, but we'll figure it out on Instagram. Like someone wants to. Oh, he needed to rejoin. If someone wants to join this chat, I think we're gonna have to do Discord. So Arvidel, you're gonna want a Discord account, and then we can get you in this chat, and we're gonna let Chief Keef probably like set it up. Why did I say Chief Keef? That's like a rapper. I'm gonna call him that. I just called him. I named him after a rapper. Did you hear that?
Discord because I find it's the easiest platform to work with all that, and it's actually got a streamer mode so that I can, hide all the notifications, everything. Like I've already been like playing for at least a week or so, just gaming on Linux, doing my streams and all that. Mostly just because I'm like, what's an easy way for me to test out, go YouTube with it without, getting a whole like kit and caboodle? And I'm like, well, gaming and streaming, there you go.
Hey, could we do this instead of Discord? Could we do Instagram? Is there a way to do like a video chat through Instagram? Because the main problem is we have people from India that want to join this chat, but TikTok's banned. So we're trying to figure out a way to do exactly what we're doing on TikTok. But I think
so. The only
Instagram.
Thing that I can, we can broadcast it to Twitch, Discord, not to Discord, Twitch, YouTube.
Wait, so how do we do YouTube? Or no, but then they would have to contact you through another app, and then you post it on YouTube. I'm trying to get around it by I think Instagram will allow it, right? If we did an Instagram one, or you don't use Instagram?
I don't know. I've never really done an Instagram thing. I'll have to ask my boyfriend because he's the Instagram guy.
So when you create your Facebook, just create also an Instagram account and mess around with it. But I think the Instagram. Oh, I forgot. Facebook has chat. Hold on, you can join the chat through Facebook. You can do it, but the volume wasn't good. But when you create that your own Facebook page, maybe we do a chat on that through Facebook, and then it allows people that don't have large followings. We can allow smaller people to come in and ask questions. Which is kind of cool. I don't like it how there's a barrier. You need 1,000 followers.
Well, I do have an Instagram account. I have an Instagram account that's separated from Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, let's first just try the Facebook Live. I think that would be the best way because it allows anyone on Facebook to join the live. So whenever you create that account, maybe we experiment. The only problem I was having is the volume was no good. They were saying like that they were having volume issues, but I feel like maybe if you were hosting it, it would be better.
What I was talking about is you would have to, this is what I'm talking about. In order to have a conversation, you'd have to actually have the conversation on a conversation platform. Take that audio, stream that. That's how you have to make it work around. That's why a bunch of us use Discord. Like when I'm gaming with my buddy,
Discord
we're using
seems
Discord
the best.
to chat.
Yeah.
And then Discord just works out the best for a lot of that because I've tried all the chat apps and it has the least amount of issues and the least amount of barriers, and more people have it, more likely.
Yeah, and you can download it on your phone. A lot of people are like, oh, Discord, it's so easy to download on your phone and you get it set up. It's not that hard.
Oh, that's where most of my crypto groups are in. I'm also in Pablo and Nima's investing Discord as one of their lecturers, so I actually do talk on topics like these. Like this Saturday, I'm actually giving a talk on stable coins.
Okay. So you guys, we might have to pull you guys into Discord. And like I said, you have a great network on Discord. So I hate to get people on so many different platforms, but if it is a superior platform and we're able to repost it on YouTube in like an efficient manner, I think we might settle on.
What I'm thinking possibly what we might be able to do is curtail the entire idea of a Discord into a Discord server where we can possibly get some of the crypto people involved. I know of a few, they have their own server, but I think if we can get them more in one place, not only would it actually, be an easier place for us to talk, because right now it's like we would have to get on the Discord group message and then we would do that. But at a server, we could have privacy permissions to certain rooms. Like when we're streaming, we can let access in and control it. We'd have to get some moderators and stuff. But at the end of the day, I think it makes something, makes sense for a lot of people, and we can build like a little community where people can actually talk about that. And I can actually talk to Nima as well to ad hoc that possibly.
Awesome. And then just another thing too is I think people have fake accounts of you. Hey, someone is posing as you, try to get people to crypto trade. Like if you look at my old, account, there's like a gazillion.
All of these issues, and I always tell everybody the only two accounts that I have are Chief Geek 3D and Chief Geek 3D Printer. They're spelled the same way, just printer at the end.
But you will never ever go on WhatsApp and ask for money. I mean, the scam is so easy. So when the people get scammed, it's like, come on, man, it's the same trick. Just don't use WhatsApp for money. Send credit card payments.
There's only 5 people that I actually talk to on WhatsApp, and those are all personal friends that are mostly in Europe. Yeah. And those are pre-existing relationships. I never tell anyone to WhatsApp me. I'm more than likely to tell people to Discord me, but of course, I don't just go and friend people on Discord either. Usually it's like how it goes with you, YOLO. We message, we get to know each other, then we get to message in private, then we share details, and then we have a confirmed point of contact.
Exactly. By the way, I got to jump off this live. Do any of you guys want to host? Because I'm going to be driving, so I can jump on one of your guys' live if you guys want to continue.
Yeah, let me spin it up on my other phone in 5 minutes after I use a restroom. That way I can quit getting the telemarketing calls because I'm on my main phone.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, everyone here, if you can, give him a follow. He will be hosting. So we're going to jump on his live stream to continue this discussion.
Yeah, man, I want to ask you about the game streaming for sure. Like, the advantages of doing it on Discord or whatever. I can show you
all that when I'm hosting because I'll have control of the camera.
Okay. And then if you do have a YouTube or a Facebook, eventually I do want those links so I can let the people know. Like,
so my YouTube's already on my Beacons link. Just go to my links in my bio. My YouTube is listed at the top in one of the icons. That's there. There's already some live streams.
Can they search on YouTube? What's the term they could search on YouTube to find one of your videos? Because that's sometimes easier if they go on YouTube and they search something. Is there something like you have a keyword?
Just type in my username, ChiefGeek3D. Once I get like 1,000 followers, I'll be able to do like the custom URL then.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you want to find him, then just type in his username into YouTube, and then I will eventually just find the link and put it in one of my videos. So if you can't find it, I'll have a video of his link on there.
Yeah, and then I will touch base with Nima, because Nima's actually been looking at some ways to do some free things too, so this might play into what he was thinking about. I'm down.
Okay.
Yep.
And hopefully, once again, you guys gotta come visit me in California. I got the content creator house.
Oh, I'm all for it. There's just so many rods in the fire, as you know, when you're a hustler.
I have it for a year, man. So you gotta come in the next year. I'm giving you a deadline until 2023.
It'll happen this year. It'll happen. I just need to get through winter and maybe a little early spring, and then we'll be more free.
And crypto prices can't be crashing. So we're going to be joining on his live stream. So you'll see me. When I go in his live stream, you can just hit me and you can join him. But the main thing is I want you guys to follow his YouTube. We're trying to get his YouTube built up. And he'll show up a lot easier if he has more than 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys don't mind, try to find his YouTube, give him a follow. And then I'm going to create videos on my YouTube that will link to him. So that should help.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he's going to... Go ahead.
Build something nice.
Okay, cool. So he's going to go live in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then once again, I'll jump on his live stream. Yeah, he's going to go live on TikTok for now, but we're going to eventually get something set up on YouTube as well. But yeah, look for me or look for him live. All right, thank you guys. All right, YouTube, I can answer questions now. Is there a way? Okay, you know what? Let me go on Instagram right now and message you. I got 11% battery, so... But I appreciate you for being one of the OG followers. Oh, there's so many spams on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Okay, there we go. I got it. If you want to say hi to me, hi. Here, I'll give you a call too. So this is Arvidel. Sending him a call on my Instagram just to say what's up. So if he picks up, great. If not, I gotta go. I gotta end the live. Doesn't look like he's gonna pick up. I'm calling you if you're still in this live stream. Yeah, it's not picking up. Anyways, I said hi back. God, there's so many spams. So many. Oh, here we go. Hello. How you doing? You there? Can you hear me? Hi.
Yeah.
Now you're on the live stream. This is gonna be the way for now to get you on the live stream. How you doing?
I think only one guy is seeing us.
Say that one more time.
I think only one person is seeing us.
I think my reception's not that good. But by the way, I'm gonna have to I can only talk probably for like a minute or two. I'm at 8%, and then my phone is gonna die.
Yeah, no issues, bro. No worries, guys.
But I appreciate your comments. I see your comments. But yeah, it's just like when other people are talking, it's hard for me, and I don't want to interrupt them. So just the way it works, you have to let everyone else talk, and then if I can get your comments in, I can. If not, they're gonna set up a Discord server. So I feel like in the future, you can just join our Discord server and you can talk there. Cool.
Will do.
Okay, man. Nice talking to you, and I'm glad you found my Instagram. Appreciate it. I gotta go. I gotta charge both my phones. Have a good one. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you, YouTube.